we're wearing.
Yeah, that little This is the stage.
Man.
It doesn't feel like one though, because this looks intense, man. Now, if you can, man, just tell a little bit about what you do, man, why you started this. Go ahead, you can record this.
Yeah.
And then, so Jamarcus helps me manage all of my social media. So the camera's on, he's press play.
Yeah.
And then he edits and keeps everything rolling. And then, of course, I post my own stuff. But And then Jamal, he's one of the guys who's probably going to be invested in Pangea Pet Health.
Yeah.
In the very, very near future. Yeah. As we put that together and, it's imperative that they see stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like we was just talking about with lack of visibility. You don't know things can get better. You know what? So he said it is funny, man. So maybe we might have to go with. We gotta think of it. What's you got a nickname?
Taddy.
Taddy. Okay, Taddy the vet.
Yeah.
That might be it.
And me. Just keep it simple. I don't know.
Okay. I like the red vet too. He got the red hair going, man. The red glow, man. Oh man. So what's the common thing that you're treating when you're in here, man?
In here?
Yeah. Well, not just in here, but over the.
Just in the hospital.
How long have you been a vet?
2020.
2020.
Right.
Okay, so we're into this thing.
So almost 4 years.
And what is the common thing that you're normally treating?
Ear infections, dental disease, skin allergies, probably the big three.
And outside of breeding, what are some things that people can do to prevent them? Because I get that all the time. I mean, someone sent me a picture the other day, dog has scratched out their eardrum due to so much inflammation. And in the bully breed, the Frenchie breed, that inflammation and that skin and that paw and that.
I think a lot on ear infections, most of it comes from allergies. Allergies comes from the breeding side because we just keep breeding it into it. Just good dog, breed it, and great dogs, and just allergies makes allergies. So we just keep breeding it and just going through that cycle. Dental disease wise, and I don't do it either, but the best thing is just brush your dog's teeth, cat's teeth twice a day, every day.
And a cat will let you brush their teeth?
A couple will.
I can imagine a cat that you hold his head and scrub his mouth, man.
Yeah. So that's the best. That's the gold standard.
Yeah.
Just brushing twice a day, just like we do our mouth. It's time consuming. For a lot of people, it's just not realistic, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
my lifestyle just doesn't
yield that type of time where you.
And so I can't make anybody feel bad when I don't do it myself.
But here we are in the dental.
This is the dental suite.
You go. But he got time for this.
I can clean them under anesthesia.
And how much does, over a course of time then, how often do people have to come back once their dog has a skin allergy? Because it just kind of keeps happening, right?
Yeah, and it varies a lot. There's some dogs that are back every 30 days for, let's say, cytokine injection, per se. It's labeled to last 4 to 8 weeks. Usually dog will get 5 to 6 weeks out of it, but let's just say 30 days, easy math. They're just coming in for a quick injection, but then how many times does our skin flare? How many times do we need antibiotics? How many times do we have a yeast infection? Now we need antifungals, orally, topically, what do we need? So on average, I bet most allergy dogs are having a flare 3-4 times a year.
And what's that cost on a visit?
Depends on where you're at. Every clinic's so different price-wise. Antibiotics, let's say you're in it for, say average size dog, 50, 60 pounds. I bet you're in antibiotics for $40 to $60, antifungals for $60 to $80. If you do shampoo, it's another $40 or so. And then plus or minus your Cytopoint or Apoquel or steroid injection or
so
adds up.
You're $200 in on a visit every
easily
4 times a year.
That's if it's simple.
And what's a complicated skin problem?
I've had them go skin with ears for $600, $700 when it's just a nightmare.
And is there any way to prevent it? Outside of course, not breeding the problems.
It's hard. I don't know that there's a great allergy protocol yet. I've worked with some dermatologists trying to get it
Figured
certain
out.
dogs figured out. Sometimes they'll just pull off the Cytopoint, pull off the Apoquel, put them on prednisone for a month, 2 months to try to get all the skin inflammation, treat any infections that are going on. We can do allergy testing. Here, allergy test is $300, just a blood test.
And you run the blood and you say, hey, what all is the dog allergic to? Have you ever heard of 5 strands? Have you heard about that? Okay. Well, it's just one of those things where you could supposedly take about 10 strands of your dog's hair, and it'll give you and Chris is using actually a printout of everything the dog's allergic to. Yeah. But I do know some people that went this route, got the blood test done, and they were like, Trev, we was able to figure it out because at the end of the day, you go home, $300 or $600 4 times a year.
Right.
Because there's nothing scary. I think to some people, the dog scratching his skin and bleeding and hurting.
Just waking you up in the middle of the night.
Shaking his head constantly. That's annoying. And
like if you do, let's say the blood test, that company can formulate drops that you just put in the mouth twice a day or an injection of what that animal's allergic to.
Oh, so the allergy test actually is...
We can formulate exactly what they come back positive to. Like it does grasses, trees, weeds, some insects like dust mites, storage mites, some fungus. If you're testing a dog, you test cat epithelial, feather mix. There might be one other thing I always forget.
Does it test any food or anything though?
It can, but it's not accurate at all from a blood test. The only way to do a true food allergy test is pull all the food away and do a hypoallergenic food. Like hydrolyzed protein, we have some out here that just breaks everything down to the amino acid so that the body can't recognize what it is.
That's funny.
So it takes that next step, takes it from chicken to amino acid, and then the body just goes from there. So you cut the breakdown portion out.
Yeah, no, I've done those things. I've done, because in the bodybuilding world, you got concentrates, isolates, and then hydrolyzed whey. And, the simple phrase is when you use isolate, it's like putting basketballs through your small intestine, which is why the protein people fart all the time, because they're not actually digesting the protein.
Yep. Take it to a basketball, to a ping pong ball, and it's a whole lot easier to digest.
There you go. Man, I tell you, it's always good when I meet somebody I can talk to. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to make it all make sense. So the allergy thing, it sounds open-ended and like there's a big opportunity to try to solve it long term. Do you think any technology is going to come out that's going to help solve that problem then?
No. I don't. I don't.
Dang. So it's really, then it goes back to the breeders.
Yeah. Like, knock on wood, every dog I've ever had in my life never had allergies. I've only ever had one purebred dog in my life. Everything else is a mix. So there's breeding with God knows what. Every dog in my house is a mix right now. Yeah. And just, you're not breeding the crap into it.
Yeah, that
more times than not. Don't get me wrong, I love a purebred dog.
Yeah.
But I've always said, like, when I'm ready to get another lab, like a bird dog, I'm going overseas to import one from UK area because they have different regulations and they don't do all that.
Well, they have guidelines. They have to really think about how they're going to put a breeding together versus here. It's like, man, I got these 2 dogs. I'm thinking about breeding a goat to a bully.
Yep.
Call them bully goats. It really is like I said, bro, if they could breed a zebra to one of these dogs, they would, man.
Yep.
Just to create more revenue in their mind, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got to move on from the allergy down to skin then. And mind you, I got to ask this too. When something's inflamed, do you know which organ is causing the problem or is expressing this inflammation? Because the kidney removes all toxins from the blood, or the urine in a sense, or the blood too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what organ is actually...
liver.
Yeah. What organ is actually saying, hey, something's wrong here? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, I don't. I'm sure some internist out there does. I don't.
Okay. Well, that's the other thing too.
But I know there's some stuff, like some of the supplements, I know they are marketing about GI health, and if you take this supplement, you get the GI health in order and your allergies go away, and I don't know if I believe it. I'm sure it helps. I'm sure it helped a dog. I just don't know if it's helping that many.
Huh. So would you say that even the science and what we know about dogs was still primitive in a sense, like at the beginning stages of trying to solve long-term issues when dogs have now just really become a thing?
Yep.
They've always been around, 2,000, 35,000 years, but now they're like, this is my dog.
Yeah, and now just now, like we were talking earlier about practicing medicine. Let's say you took your normal Frenchie. Now you bred it to be fluffy. And now they're breeding it to be hairless. So we're practicing because there's more new stuff coming out that we've never seen before.
So what you're saying is that these fuckers are making your life hard.
They're paying bills. If I'm being honest.
He hasn't seen the fluffy bully yet.
Man, look. Yeah, like he said, there's new magic being created every day. And he says, well, come see the magician. Right this way. I'd love to put you on our table and get everything I can out of you because we'll see you again. That's so funny, people. Shout out to the CrossFit people. No disrespect, all disrespect. But, one of my orthopedic surgeon friends back in Kansas City says, I love CrossFit, Trev. They come in with a shoulder, a knee, a back problem. I see one all the time. He said all that yanking and pushing and snapping. Something's going to snap and I'm betting on it. So I'm glad it got popular.
It's not normal movements. I'm no workout buff, but that ain't normal movements.
It's not. It's like getting in a car accident every time you go to work out until the car wrecks itself. And now you're like this, man, what happened? You know that? No, just no. Well, for one, I appreciate his candor, and even more importantly, where this guy, we leaned into the practice thing earlier. So when people, I won't say people, but I don't know him. Nobody calls my phone, but we've seen things at times where they say, "Oh, this man doesn't know anything," and I'm like, the beauty about it is none of us do, and I don't know if we're ever going to be around long enough to know everything, especially when people are constantly creating problems.
I've said, like I said, I only graduated 3.5, 4 years ago, but I've seen too many older vets that say they know everything, they've seen it all, and the time I say that's the time to hang it up, because you shouldn't know it all. It means you haven't been learning. Is my opinion on it. I want to be always growing, always learning, learn something new.
And that right there is, I watched the story. I don't know if you watch movies or not, but you see the story of Ben Carson, the guy that separated the twins, for instance. Cuba Gooding Jr. plays it, so he went politic left field, but that's neither here nor there. He separated conjoined twins and one of the first people to do it successfully out of Johns Hopkins. And you think about the best doctors in the world; they're the ones that never stop researching, looking into where things could improve and how to be better doctors. And that's a good way to look at it too, because if we bred, even on the breeding side, you said if we got to the perfect dog, we'd probably be done, because you'd have nothing to replicate or nothing to improve upon.
And cloning, don't replicate it. You can't clone that dog and make it the exact same.
It's not even.
Don't work.
So what do you think about that? Is that you brought it up? I didn't even think about that, man. But cloning, that's a thing, man.
Yeah.
There's a dude who cloned a dog that he sold for $500,000, I believe.
I believe it.
But like you said, this isn't Total Recall. What's that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he is like replicated himself? Oh man, it's old school. Don't worry about it. But point is what do you think about the cloning thing? Because some people are like, I just gotta have him back.
I think people get disappointed when they don't have the same personality, don't have the same mannerisms. It may look the same, but it ain't the same dog.
That makes sense.
The 6th day.
Oh, see?
Yeah,
the sixth day. Look, I'll go watch it. The 6th day, it's a classic. Well, is there things that people also could be looking into when they are trying to find a good vet then? Because, we've got sounds like there's no protocol, but there's a protocol, but it sounds like a financial protocol, to say the least, if you invest in a dog. And I've said this many times, people, the only thing more expensive than buying these dogs is taking care of them. And your long-term, when I look at an investment, and somebody goes, I'm a breeder, I want to get this money. I say, if I buy a car today and I sell it for more later, I don't want to spend what I paid on the car even in problems in the first 90 days or so, let alone in the next 2 years. Oil change, I get it. This, I get it. But some of you guys are buying $5,000 dogs, spending $5,000 in the first year, and I'm like, you think that's bad? Wait till that joker gets to the end stage, because those problems are going to triple in cost. So, I don't even know I don't even know how to help you guys, because look, we're here with Tadlock so we can learn as much as we can, and definitely highlight we can say the name here though, can we? Okay. He's got some rules in play. I didn't know we could say that. I know we can say the name, but we are in Frisco, Texas at Live Well Reproduction. We're going to talk in the next episode about that, what you know about that and other stuff. So stay tuned, people. Keep taking care of the dogs.
Was Parvo room?
Yeah. So let's say like you could diagnose it outside. You obviously don't want to bring that shit inside.
Yeah.
And let's say the test comes up positive. hey, I'm not even bringing that puppy inside. Drive around the back, pop that door open, and then they're either here or outside.
Oh, wow.
So then you don't have to worry about nothing getting spread.
That's huge.
Like, there's no parvo unless some sort of freak accident happened. Like I had a dog a year ago, 2-year-old dog, never suspected in my life. We were like, oh, it's gonna be a foreign body. Had it through that whole clinic.
Man.
Whole clinic. Never would have guessed.
Man.
We had the dog on the surgery table to cut, and the diarrhea just starts coming out and had the smell.
Oh.
Like, you're kidding.
Oh, that's that.
I was like, grab
the
the test. I mean, hot positive, fast. Like,
Man.
oh my god.
What?
I was like, we just walked this dog through the whole clinic.
The whole clinic,
I know
man.
it smells so bad.
Man.
It's just blood. It's blood coming out of their butt, bro.
We were like, God, never would have guessed it. So then, like, all these kennels built in, like this little oxygen ports, so we could make like a oxygen cage of sorts. Got our X-ray room right here, cat ward, so that we can hospitalize the cats away from the dogs. There's just laundry, 3 big dog runs. They have some more leg room, so they're not all cramped. This is like all surgery, pack and pret, autoclave, sterilize everything, scrub sink for surgeries. All of these hoses are just all oxygen lines.
How important is oxygen? Because you got them things laid everywhere.
Yeah.
It's important when you need it.
That's crazy, man.
So, surgery suites in here. We got 2 surgery tables, so we could roll roll some surgeries through here. And then over here, some more cages. Got some stuffed animals for the show for the kids. Then here's the lab pharmacy. So we've got most drugs, what we need. There's a few. Every once in a while you got to order, but where the magic
Can that
happens.
IODEX machine test in terms of blood? Like, test the weak vitamin E, any of the nutrient stuff?
Say it again.
Like, can they test like if the dog's lacking vitamin E or any like iron and stuff? IODEX can do that.
Not that I know of. Like a GI panel,
Yeah.
I send to the A&M GI lab.
Okay.
So they can do the cobalamin, folate, all that fancy stuff. Yeah, I send that text to A&M.
It's a good setup, man.
Yeah.
Great setup.
Great sauce.
As always, man, we thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Definitely let me know when we can, what time Friday.
Yeah.
I'll have something to look at, man.
Perfect.